Welcome to TW Sports Talk here in the middle of the NFL playoffs. We're coming off of the divisional round, and unfortunately, last week our predictions for the divisional round and everything didn't make it up on the channel because of a stupid file corruption error. Sometimes these computers, technology these days. Sometimes you never know. You can't always count on files writing correctly, and sometimes you just have stupid computer errors. So unfortunately, we didn't have last week's edition of TW Sports Talk posted, but I would assume
it happened. It just didn't get posted.
Yeah, but hopefully this week it'll be all right. Now last week certainly was an interesting week in the NFL as always. I mean, pretty much every game except maybe the Seattle and Carolina one. I mean was competitive and close, and even the Colts and Broncos one wasn't really competitive either.
Well, no. Seattle and Carolina was competitive till
the fourth
quarter, which is what I predicted.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
what Seattle does. I mean, Marshawn Lynch eventually, towards the end of the game, he just starts to unload.
Well, not to mention the defense made a big interception also late in the game. So I mean,
that's what they do. I mean,
yeah, that's what they do.
That's
what they do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, last week, we had a couple differing predictions.
Yes.
On the wild card round, we only had one different prediction. I picked Pittsburgh.
I picked Baltimore.
Yeah.
And
this week,
those different picks actually hurt me both. Though they were both competitive games in that.
This week, and they could have gone
either way, really.
Obviously, if you watch them, I was I mean, especially that Patriots and Ravens game. I mean, that was that was a great game. I was busy working during, but I was watching most of it. I've seen most of the action that was going on, and so but that was a great game. And then yeah, I mean, Seattle and Carolina was competitive in the first half, but again, I mean, I felt like I watched it. I knew at some point, Seattle was going to run away with it in the second half. It's just what they do, like I said earlier. And I mean, good effort by Carolina, though. I mean, again, I mean,
it was competitive. It was competitive.
Yeah, they were. In the way they finished late in the season. I mean, I know they were like 3-8-1 at one point. I think it was
4-game win streak at the end in December.
But give them credit. I mean, they got to essentially where they got to last year in the playoffs when they were 12-4 and.
Yeah, but they also had a bye last year, too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I mean,
they actually won a game playoff game this
because to show you, I mean, regardless, I mean, they got to the same spot in the playoffs as last year. A little ironic there, but, and I mean, they got, Kelvin Benjamin and maybe some guys that they could build with, and
exactly
probably win that division again next year. But Seattle, no surprises there. Moving on to the NFC Championship game, and then of course you had Green Bay and Dallas.
It was a battle
on that. Yeah, it was a battle.
So many plays. Of course, there's the play that I'm sure we talked about for years to come.
Yeah,
it's got to be up there with the Tuck rule.
Yeah,
the infamous Tuck rule with Oakland and New England. That also still will not be stopped talking.
Yeah,
none of people stop talking about even to this day. But there were also many other plays as well there that definitely were big here. But no, it's some of the Des Bryant thing. First of all,
the catch.
Was it the catch, Tyler? Was it the catch? In your opinion?
It's hard for me to say because I'm confused. They need a. I just think somebody owes us an explanation. They need a better explanation, I guess, of the whole NFL move and the process of catching the ball.
See, I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw it in fast motion, I was thinking the same thing too. Did he maintain the ball the whole way?
That's the thing.
When I keep watching, because it showed it a lot, is the replay
in slow motion. Yeah,
it looks like what happens is he catches it. He takes 1, 2, 3 steps, then puts his hand down, and it looks like he's lunging for the end zone with the ball still in his hand in that. And that's pretty much where. And then he goes for it. He looks like he might be a yard short, or I guess in Dez's case, because he was kind of signaling touchdown also. He was, I guess in his he thought maybe he was he maybe broke it slightly a bit. Yeah. And then the ball kind of maybe pops out, but then it just ends up in Dez's. But then it kind of still ends in Dez's hand a bit. Because the rule technically is you got to make a football play. Well, I saw 1, 2, 3 steps.
Yeah.
Maybe a dive. Then maybe the ball got loose, but even then, it still ended up in Dez's hands in that. I mean, so I can see. Like I said, I felt bad for Dez. Yeah. I really did, because that's one of the shittiest ways to lose a game. Because even then I knew the game was pretty much over. All Rodgers has to do is just march down the field again. Yeah. Which pretty much is what he did in the second half, pretty much. First half, different story. Different story. Rodgers was pathetic in that first half.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a snap. There was a snap where the center snapped the ball and he wasn't supposed to.
No, but I mean, Dallas contained him in the first half. They did a great job. And even then, I mean, you could tell Rodgers was still limping. And by the way, which once again, not giving the Packers a whole lot of credit. Not going to give them much of a shot against Seattle this week.
Yeah.
If he's going to be limping going into Seattle, yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much he had to rely on Eddie Lacy, which at times was also getting stopped.
Yeah. He had a good
also,
game.
Devontae Adams deserves a lot of credit too.
Yeah, he had some great plays.
The one in particular, which I think was also a big play of the game, 3rd and 15. Not only does he catch the ball, he gets past 2 defenders and runs in for a touchdown.
He's putting on the jukes.
You talk about a big stop as well. If they would have stopped him there and forced a field goal, that could have been a game breaker there.
Yeah.
Not to mention the DeMarco Murray fumble, which I give Julius Peppers a lot of credit too, because if he does not get that fumble,
he's a playmaker.
He's stopped DeMarco there with a fumble. I didn't see any Green Bay Packer guy in the vicinity. Yeah. DeMarco was going to get 6 points there easily.
Yeah.
Which probably would have, I think at that point, it was, I want to say it was 14-7 at that point still. So it would have been 21-7. So it would have been a 2-touchdown lead. Yeah. And it would have been early in the third quarter still in that. But that would have been a huge momentum shift for Dallas still. No, but did Dallas get robbed? I guess is the question. I mean, look, technically, I think if Dez would have caught the ball, instead of trying to lunge, would have just fell backwards. He would have had the ball clearly secured, I think.
If he didn't try to,
he didn't try to lunge.
That was my theory too. Like, because
it's only 4 minutes. He had 4 minutes on the clock. You would have milked the clock a bit here, because Aaron Rodgers only needs a field goal to beat you guys. Unless you go for 2, because I had the feeling Dallas might go for 2, then because that way it would at least be
because it was a 5-point. Yeah, it was a 5-point lead.
5-point lead. A field goal would have made only a 2-point. I mean, a field goal would have won. I mean, you probably would have had to go for 2 at least to try to force maybe at least a field goal would be a tie then at least. Even at, maybe Crosby could still kick it. But either way, you do put pressure on Green Bay then.
Yeah.
The pressure's on the other side of the ball now. It's not so much on Dallas's D to make a stop to keep your team alive. It's, okay, we can stop him here to win the game pretty much. And Rodgers, okay, I got to at least get a field goal to either win the game or force a tie pretty much. I will say that if he would have did that, would have been a catch. Because clearly he beat Shields. I don't know.
Shields,
I don't know how he did. Yeah. It was a hell of an athletic play.
Yeah, Shields even got a hand on the ball.
It was actually a nice pass from Romo too. It was kind of where it needed to be for Dez to catch it. Pretty much throw it high. Let Dez, who is taller than Sam Shields, just jump high. Let him try to jump higher than him, pretty much, and catch it. And you're right, Shields did have one like fingertip on the ball on that. But then again, it's like that's so disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the ball, just to say, "Oh, we would have scored, game probably would have been over." Because I'm like, okay, well, maybe. I mean, but did you guys really stop Rodgers in the second half at that point? It looked like he was starting to get some momentum back. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the pressure would be on the other side of the ball. Wouldn't be on Dallas's D so much; it would be on Green Bay's D in that. But no, I mean, I think that would have been a problem. But I would say I think Dez Bryant got screwed of one of the greatest catches probably of the season.
Yeah,
and
it was.
I will go that far. I would not go as far as say Dallas lost the game because of this year. Because who's to say Rodgers just doesn't march down the field and kick, at least set Crosby for a field goal?
Yeah. 5 letters here.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, once again, you can't really blame it on Romo. He didn't play a bad game. Can't blame it on DeMarco. He had a pretty good game as well.
They had good game. Yeah.
You really can't blame them on the defense. I mean, they kind of played it. It was actually both defenses, which had been statistically very bad this season.
Yeah.
Actually, were able to hold both teams under 30 points. So it was not really so much a shootout like people were hoping it was going to be. It was mainly did come down to the defense in the end. I mean, now that being said, I got to call out some people here on Facebook.
Let me guess, starting with Bill Fike.
No. I'm going to defend Cowboy fans here. If there's one thing I hate about certain NFL fans. It's the teams who didn't make the playoffs. All of a sudden, his goal in life is to ridicule fans who just had a loss in the playoffs.
They try to feel better about themselves. And
first of all, you people are some of the worst people ever in the world. You are some of the most. I'm sorry. Dallas might have just lost, and we can laugh and mock and say, "Oh, the accident happened again." Don't know what accident happened. You could. I don't know what accident happened in this game here, but ha ha ha. But it's like, dude, where were the Bucks this year?
Okay, I know who. Yeah.
Where were the Eagles this year? I mean, where were these teams at, Tyler? I mean, Tyler, for a second, I thought you were going to go that route too.
No.
But you took the high road to look like, which I'm happy about because I would have definitely called you out there because that's Bush League, dude. If you went that route,
I don't.
That's definitely Bush. That's Bush League. Look, I knew Bill was getting emotional. He is definitely a hardcore Cowboy fan. He should be. I think I'm finding fans, getting emotional about it there. Like I said, and Dez definitely got robbed, and so because a lot of people picking on Dez Bryant too. Oh, look at the crybaby here. Yeah. You know what? I didn't see one Eagle player give a shit about them losing when they lost to Washington.
Yeah.
The guy just walked to the sideline casually and said, season's over. At least Dez was emotionally attached to this game here.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah,
just
Washington.
Saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess you're referring to the little back and forth that Billy Fike and I had, or it wasn't much of a back and forth.
No, it wasn't. You personally look. Dallas actually could have won this game.
They could. Let's. For those who are gonna rip Dallas too here, like they're out of the play. The accident happened or whatever. Tony Romo, he did have a good game, and let's face it. Dallas probably won twice as many games this year than most people thought they would.
Yeah.
They weren't the disaster that everybody thought they would be, and they went. They're right there. They're really close to beating Green Bay at home
at Lambeau. At
Lambeau, and moving on to the NFC Championship.
Now we'll say this here too. If someone who's probably was smiling with the play was Seattle, I don't care what anybody says. The best team that would have had a shot against Seattle was the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sorry. Especially if Rodgers is limping with his calf injury in Seattle. The Packers have zero shot at making this a competitive game at Seattle. Yeah. Zero shot. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go and say it there. Seattle, because the only shot they have is that Seattle will not take Green Bay seriously. Because they know what happened week one. They demolished Green Bay. They got in Rodgers' head so much that he went and followed Rich Sherman's direction.
Right.
Dallas, there would have been Dallas and Seattle in a rematch. You know what Seattle's mentality would have been? Oh shit, we're facing the team that beat us. The only team that beat us at home this year, by the way.
And
they would have actually been saying, oh yeah, but we want revenge as well. But Dallas would also say, yeah, but you know what? I think we actually might have you guys' number. Maybe you might just not be able to stop us. Maybe. Yeah. Like I said, I just think that would have been a better matchup in the NFC.
In the
NFC. That's just my opinion.
The way I look at, I would have thought, not only would Seattle want revenge, now Seattle has players back that they were missing in that game, and the whatever locker room issue they may have had around that time with Percy Harvin or even Marshawn Lynch at the time. I don't know. I guess they're beyond all that. At least well beyond that.
At least for this season. Yeah. At the end of the season, different story. Let's see what happens at the end of the season.
For one thing, Lynch might retire after this season. Originally it sounded like he was going to retire after last season, but he came back and nevertheless, he's still having a good season again. So, but yeah, I guess we'll see. Rodgers, we'll see if his calf improves at all, but I don't know. He said after the game he's got 120 minutes left. Or whatever.
5 letters here.
I don't know, but I just think that it's tougher against the way the Seattle defense is playing. It'll be tough for Rodgers. They got some playmakers, but they're gonna. If Seattle they run the ball with Eddie Lacy, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't count on a Packers win here, but. And if they, it just goes to show you how good the defense is playing and how important it is to have a great secondary. If you could, if you shut down Aaron Rodgers this week,
yeah.
he was pretty immobile this week, but I mean, he still made some, great throws as he always does.
Granted, gets Dallas' D, not Seattle's
right,
D.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, Seattle's D, if they get the pressure on Rodgers and his calf still is iffy, then I certainly wouldn't expect the same kind of success.
And you can't even rely heavily on Lacey because Seattle's run defense is just as good as their pass defense is. So I mean, it's a different strat. It's different. It's different, and I just think that if it was the Cowboys, be a better matchup.
Maybe
it would be a better challenge to Seattle, I think.
Maybe
from both a physical and mental level, I think.
Yeah.
I said to me,
I could maybe see. Yeah, I mean,
if Green Bay wins this game, I don't think it has a whole lot to do more of good Packers. More of I think Sal just not take them serious.
And Aaron Rodgers just being incredible, making incredible.
I will say this though. Here, I will say this though. This was. I did say the winner of this game between Romo, Rodgers, and even you can say Murray because Murray has been in MVP discussions more or less as well.
MVP candidacy here.
Rodgers has definitely thrown himself into. I'd say to me, there's only two guys now that are front runners in the MVP: Rodgers and Brady.
Yeah,
and as good of a game Flacco had for Baltimore, and it was a great game.
It was, a couple key interceptions.
Yeah, he had some big. That was the difference there. He had turnovers. Brady did not have any turnovers really in that game. But not to mention Brady's the first quarterback to overcome
just pass. Yep.
No, but he became first was a 14-0 deficit in the beginning. So they're down by 14.
Yeah. Then there was another 14.
28-14.
Or a 14-point deficit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he was the only team to do that in the history of the NFL would overcome two 14-point deficits
That's ridiculous. And then
and like I said, and I'm not gonna lie, I think they probably got the easier matchup also this week as well. Although let's talk about the Broncos, I guess, than the Colts, because that was
kind of moving over the AFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a funny feeling about this game. I mean, obviously, I picked the Broncos to win.
Yeah.
But
look. It's been talked about for it feels like weeks, maybe even a month. Is there a problem with Manning?
Yeah.
Is
he done? Has he
hit
the
done?
wall?
Has he hit the wall?
Well,
or is it just no? They changed their scheme up. They want to just run the ball more than pass than that. They don't want to be as pass heavy as they were in the past than that. Well, I think this game showed a lot, really.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, I didn't even learn about this until after the game.
What, the quad?
Most of us did. Yeah, he's been playing with a torn quad for a while now, and but yeah, I mean, even a little before that, I mean, you start to see it seems like Peyton Manning's been hitting a wall.
I mean, the amount of inconsistent throws too.
Yeah, I mean,
holy crap.
Yeah.
Once again, give a relatively bad defense credit. The Colts did come to play in this game.
Right, yeah. I mean, for the second week in a row, the Colts have played pretty good defense. I mean, they shut down the Bengals' run game. I mean,
and a lot of people want to give Angela credit. Grant, he did throw 2 ridiculous interceptions in this game too, which gives me almost zero hope this team has any shot at Foxborough next week.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they have a shot because they're there.
Yeah.
But not much of a shot because I think Andrew Luck, like the last time we went to Foxborough last year, is going to make a lot of turnovers again because the guy's just a gunslinger.
Right.
But no, I mean, it definitely reflects a lot there. I mean, obviously, once again, it follows that whole idea of Manning's just the greatest regular season quarterback. Yeah. Obviously, his 13th playoff loss, the most of any quarterback, or I think even any player in the NFL, really, if you think about it. He's only gone 1-2 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually think he's the only guy with a Super Bowl ring, that has a losing record in the playoffs too.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So it's the yin and yang of Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
It's the good and the bad of Peyton Manning, pretty much. And apparently, John Fox now
yesterday
has left.
They mutually,
Denver.
They mutually parted ways with John Fox and.
Which would make sense because he's the number one. He's the guy that a lot of teams are hoping to attract. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like I say, interesting to see what happens there. I mean, but no, I mean it brings the question now. With a new coach now possibly coming in. does Manning want to stay with Denver?
Yeah.
More importantly, is this it? Because really, is anybody else going to look at Manning and say they're going to want to take a shot at him for even one more year, maybe?
I get the sense that Denver's like they're like going to do a rebuild process here or something. That's my. Peyton Manning. I mean, I think the idea is that they, that John Fox, and then they went as far as they took that thing as far as they could go with it, and now I think that they might want to move in a new direction.
Yeah.
I mean, to get rid of John Fox, and I would assume, and I mean Peyton Manning. I mean, I don't know if he's done or not.
He was very. I mean, I remember like before the season ended, he was like very saying, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely coming back next year. I definitely feel I can do one more season."
Yeah.
Down the stretch though, especially in that press conference after the loss, I mean, his whole reaction's like been a 180. It's like now it's like, why do they know? To be honest with you, kind of like he's uncertain now.
Right.
Yeah. Now that might also be because maybe Denver doesn't want to stick with him for another year yet. If Denver drops him, is anybody else going to want to pick up a Manning who maybe is done?
Yeah.
As far as the career goes, I mean, I know a lot of teams do it for a quarterback, Philly in particular, probably, but I don't even think Philly's going to want to take a risk for Manning for one more year, especially in a Chip Kelly. Not to mention, I think Manning can even handle a tempo that Chip runs.
Because Manning, and not only that, I mean, Manning kind of is a coach in a sense. He's like a. So I don't know how that would pan out. I mean, it'd be intriguing, but.
No, you're right. Because Manning usually he's the one who picks the plays himself. Usually,
he
goes in the huddle and he picks the plays. There's no huddle in Philly, and you got to look at the sideline for like a hand signal to get the play. And it's like multiple hand signals too, and it's just I don't think Manning at his age. Granted, if he wants to play and Philly's the only option, would he go for at least one more year? I mean. It'd be kind of sad, but then I think on Philly's part, because once again, it's like, okay, well, this is not 20, something Manning. This is 30-something Manning.
38, 39.
And he's coming off kind of a slump down the stretch as well. I mean,
he's been playing. I mean, some would say he's been playing on borrowed time for. I mean, after that next year. I mean,
I mean, there are people saying, he'll get his strength. He'll get his strength back, but can he maintain
probably
it?
Not. Yeah, and probably not to the strength that I guess the ideal strength that it was.
I mean, granted, last year, tremendous numbers.
Right.
Last year.
Yeah.
But again,
even early in this past season, but still.
I mean, for a while, like Emmanuel Sanders was the missing link maybe for the wideout position.
Yeah.
The defense, they had, who by the way, all of a sudden, once again, showed their age as well. DeMarcus Ware starting to play like like he did in Dallas. Half-assing games, Aqib Talib just, also was iffy too, which is why New England got rid of him as well. I mean, that's pretty much what Denver did. They picked up these two guys who had promise in Dallas and New England, but also were starting to show signs of they may not have a whole lot left in the tank, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I would joke about how Philly has this young team, but Denver has probably one of the oldest teams in the league.
Right, yeah.
I mean, some of these other guys are also working, on their last mileage, probably. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, shocked. I was shocked, but really also kind of not really surprised based on how Manning was playing. I was a little bit worried a bit at times. I thought there were moments though when I think the Browns going to somehow overcome this and win the game somehow. I don't like their chances in Foxborough, but no, it did happen though. Congrats to the Colts. I mean, now
Andrew Luck,
Andrew Luck and company, and that granted, I'd say it was more bad Manning than good Andrew Luck, but But I mean, the Colts. The Colts are somehow in an AFC Championship game, pretty much. Yeah. Don't like their odds at Foxborough, but they have a shot. You can't say they don't have a shot. At least in making a run.
And now I guess let's. We didn't talk a whole lot about the Ravens and Patriots games.
Okay.
The interesting. For obviously, I mean, there's that one interception that Brady threw, and afterwards you tell like he was really like ticked off at himself.
He's an emotional guy,
right? Yeah, that's but down the stretch, he brought him back. Flacco threw a couple key interceptions, especially the one at the end.
Oh yeah, the one was
a big one. Now how about that one play to what was it, Danny Amendola, where he it was like a kind of like a flea flicker touchdown pass.
Oh, from Julian Edelman?
Yeah. Or
Edelman.
Edelman.
Who, by the way, did play quarterback in college.
Right, they kind of mentioned that.
Played quarterback at Kent State, D1.
So,
So
that was, the Patriots kind of pulling some tricks out of their bags here. And, of course, they had the eligible / ineligible, kind of tight end trick there. I don't know
what,
how
the
much
four
you saw that
linemen
game.
that like made
Yeah, they
like
had
they made John Harbaugh flip off and say it was a dirty it was a dirty play.
Yeah, it's like we didn't. Yeah, and like we didn't have time to, I guess adjust to that or whatever. And it was like, hey, I mean that's the point, I guess.
The playoffs, you bring out your tricks in the playoffs.
Exactly, and Brady's like kind of responded afterwards. It's like like read the rule book or whatever. I don't know. You gotta. Stuff like that.
They did. They told the official. This guy's eligible.
Yeah.
This guy's eligible.
They were showing like the one tight end that was in. He like goes to the ref before the play, like I'm ineligible or whatever, and then he just runs a straight line down the field. Obviously, he's not going to get the ball, but it totally fooled the Ravens defense there, and sure enough, the eligible guy gets the ball, and so typical, Bill Belichick, some genius there. Pulling some tricks out of the bag.
And like I said, unless the Colts pull a miracle, Brady's going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Not only, much. I mean, and the thing about
this, like I said, it feels kind of weird here because these guys have always been relevant every year in the playoffs. I mean,
right.
But it's been so long since we've seen the New England in a Super Bowl, and less than they've won one too. I mean, holy crap!
Yeah.
So I mean, Brady. And like I said, it brings a question in too. I mean, unlike Manning, Brady's still playing at an elite level at his age in that. He's barely had like really a whole lot of high risk injuries too.
Yeah.
So, especially if they win this year, the whole thing, that's 4. Does he maybe get 5 then? Maybe. I mean, does he keep going?
Yeah.
I mean, the joke for a while was that Brady was gonna just destroy the ring record as far as the individual with the most rings in that.
Yeah.
And for a while, that was going to happen. But now it's like, well, Manning's gone. Who in the AFC is going to challenge New England quarterback-wise?
Yeah.
Maybe the Colts. Grant, they need help on defense, and they still need to establish a running game. Yeah. I mean, Denver, they're not going to fix Manning in one season. Brock Osweiler is not going to. Yeah. Like, I don't care if he has Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, and Wes Welker as wideouts. Yeah. Maybe they can still make a playoff run, but they're not going to be this elite team that they were with Manning at the helm.
Not only that, Demaryius is going to be a free agent, so I mean, he might want to go somewhere else. But yeah, I mean,
do you know who else is Des Bryant? A lot of wideouts actually. Yeah. So Philly, take notice if you don't sign Macklin.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the Patriots. I mean, they won this game with like not even running the football. I mean obviously they were falling behind. A couple times by 14. Yeah. So I mean, this was all like the passing game. I mean, this was a lot on Brady's shoulders here, and he, he definitely rose to the occasion, and Brady and Belichick coming up with a big win here. So yeah, certainly interesting. Again, I mean, I wouldn't. Again, it's going to be tough for the Colts to go up there in Foxborough and beat the Patriots, but
even if it's at Indy, which wasn't the season. The Colts just, I don't know, they're missing so many pieces.
Right, yeah.
It's just they're kind of like the odd stepchild right now. These Final Four teams. It's like no one had these guys getting this far.
Yeah.
And especially against New England. I mean, if it was against Baltimore, maybe you give them a shot. Maybe even though I would take probably Baltimore.
I would too. I think Baltimore was probably the better team there,
but right now, I mean, I don't know how. Well, actually, that's the thing. I think maybe Flacco and Baltimore might be Brady's toughest competition, maybe going forward in the AFC at least. Because I'm trying to find someone else. Maybe Pittsburgh. They can fix some stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Cincy, I still haven't won a playoff game yet. Rivers and the Chargers, maybe. I mean, they kind of have a team building that down there. Kansas City needs to score a passing touchdown for
a wide receiver.
Before they start getting relevant again. Oakland, they got Derek Carr. He's got potential, but he needs help.
Yeah, see how they build.
Bortles, I don't want to judge him yet because once again, same thing. Needs help in Jacksonville. Tennessee needs a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Houston, I don't know. Maybe Casey Keenum can actually build on something maybe down there. The defense is solid in Houston. Ryan Tannehill, I mean, he shows promises for Miami. Buffalo has a solid defense, especially with Rex Ryan now as the coach.
Yeah, new head coach there. Yeah,
that defense is just going to get better with Ryan now. They need a quarterback though, and that's the one problem with Rex Ryan. The whole Rex Ryan hiring is that is this guy really gonna? Does this guy really know how to draft a franchise quarterback? Yeah. I mean, you need one. You definitely need one, but I don't know. Once again, I don't know who you draft in Buffalo. New York, it's the Jets. They got a lot of issues. I think I said, the NFC is different. I mean, NFC, you got to see how many people Seattle can keep pretty much in the Legion of Boom pretty much before I can make that projection. San Francisco, got to see who the new coach is first before I make something there. Arizona, probably going to be a contender unless Larry Fitzgerald decides to leave the coop, and he's talked about that too. Once again, Philly, pay attention to some of these. I'm serious though. They have all these wideout free agents now.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'd sign up for Demaryius Thomas or whatever. I mean,
Des Bryant maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a big guy.
Leaving
I keep hearing Chip say we need big guys in that. So he's a big. Yeah. He's as big as you get.
I mean, that'd be huge. Like if he from the Cowboys, that'd be crazy.
But it's not unheard of. It's not unheard of.
No, it's not. I'd be for it certainly. But
like I said, I mean, obviously Jerry's first goal he said is we got to resign Garrett. Then the next question is, do you keep DeMarco? Or do you keep Dez? Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you want to keep both, but who do you court for first? Pretty much because they're both going to want to raise.
Yeah.
Especially DeMarco. He was kind of the workhorse this year. I mean, and like I said, Drew Brees. How many years does he have left? Also, I mean, he's also getting up there in age. Not to mention he's
coming off a disappointing season.
Matt Ryan and the Falcons as well. They still got to find a new coach, I believe.
Yeah.
Carolina somehow has won the division back-to-back years.
Yeah.
They still need a few missing pieces yet though. Tampa, I like the coach, I like Lovie Smith, but they need a lot of holes to fix yet. Though their wideouts I like Mike Evans and I like Vincent Jackson. They need a quarterback first of all.
Yeah.
And Marcus Mariota did not look exactly like star-studded last night either. So.
Not great. I mean, he's
like I said, I'm convinced he's a system guy, and he's probably going to fall flat on his face in the NFL. But once again, we got to see.
Well, he could be coach. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, I think, will always stay relevant as long as they have Aaron Rodgers as quarterback.
As long as Rodgers.
Chicago, I have no idea. You gave Cutler a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not coming. Detroit, interesting. Interesting to see with Detroit there because Stafford showed promise, and that defense is pretty good. But then again, once again, you got Calvin Johnson. But something about the Lions though, just not able to find the solution there. Vikings, I actually like. I think they're going to be very improved next year.
Yeah, Bridgewater,
he looks like a franchise guy now. Running game obviously this year was a problem. Guess we'll see if Peterson gets signed with them next year or not. I have no idea how that's going to go down.
Yeah.
In the East, of course, Dallas, they can keep most of those guys. You got to at least follow them as a contender next year.
Yeah.
At least in the East. Washington, I don't know. RG3 showed some promise down the stretch again. I mean, it sounds like everybody has their job in Washington another season. They still need some holes, though. They have a lot of holes yet, though. There's Tom Coughlin who's staying another year somehow. And there's Manning and the Giants finally get over the hump again and finally, show some Super Bowl, contention again. And of course, Philadelphia, it's a make or break year for Chip pretty much now. It's especially now with him total control of personnel. But so there you go. That's my brief summary of the league right now. But I guess predictions go. We're gonna both go New England, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just follow him here. What do the Colts need to do to have a shot at winning this game?
It's a good question. I mean, I guess just keep pace with Tom Brady and the
but you got to stop him. You got to stop. You got to force a punt here and there.
That's the thing. I mean, I don't know if I don't know how often they'll be able to do that.
Andrew Luck cannot throw a single interception in this game. He's got to play a perfect game.
Yeah, that's a key.
He can't get away with two here. He's got to go perfect, and I don't think the guy has the weapons, the capability to do it.
Yeah.
Once again, though, we both picked Indy in the past, and somehow they somehow were able to pull it off. I don't see how the Colts can pull this off in Foxborough.
Yeah.
I think Brady and Belichick returned back to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So
for the sixth time.
Sixth time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, no. Let's see.
Yeah, because they went.
Yeah.
The only
first three they won.
Because the 2 losses are of
against
course
the Giants.
against the Giants.
Yes, the 6-1. Yeah. So, see if Brady gets his 4th ring, and that means he only needs one more to get a
thumb. Yeah,
he gets 4 brass knuckles then.
Yeah.
Let's see. Actually, no, he has 4. Yeah, that's a brass knuckle there.
Brass knuckle.
Because I don't think there is one for your thumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know who out there wears thumb rings, but
actually, good point. I think he just puts. He just puts it on the finger.
Yeah,
that's another joke too there about Brady too. Would he ever win more than 10, which means he'd have no room for any fingers in that?
Yeah,
would he just like double it on like one of the fingers? Yeah. I mean, Super Bowl rings are huge. You've ever seen? Yeah. They are huge. Like they take almost like a good chunk of your finger. So I don't even know if it's impossible to fit in 2 on the same.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the NFC now, which might be more competitive. I think Seattle's gonna just has Green Bay's number, and if it's not even a healthy Rodgers, I don't know. I don't see how Green Bay wins this game in Seattle.
Yeah. Again, I mean, we saw the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Even with a healthy Rodgers, and I mean, they didn't get going. I mean, the Packers didn't get going until a few weeks later.
Yeah.
But and Rodgers has had a great season, but yeah, I mean, he might not be fully mobile, and Seattle might get more of a pass rush on Rodgers, and obviously that secondary is extremely good. So I obviously expect the Seattle Seahawks win here, and
I do as well.
And a Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl.
Can Seattle do what New England because New England was less than to win back to back.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So
does Seattle get a back to back ring now? Pretty much.
Right. Yeah. So it should make for a great Super Bowl. Can Brady and Belichick get number 4?
Yeah.
Or does Seattle repeat? Tom Brady,
Russell
Gronkowski
Wilson,
against that
Legion
defense.
of Boom.
Yeah,
yes.
Russell Wilson, another Super Bowl. I mean,
against Revis Island.
Definitely, yeah, certainly Revis Island.
Actually, that's the key thing there. Revis has never won a Super Bowl either.
Right. Yeah. So.
And I'll be fair. This is his best shot. This is his best shot at belt. Right. No different than Randy Moss, who also played for New England for a little bit too.
I agree.
Best shot at Super Bowl, pretty much. Which, once again, if you're Jeremy Maclin and you get the phone call from Foxborough, I take it in a heartbeat, probably.
Yeah. So that's definitely makings of a great Super Bowl there, and hey, I mean, if somehow the Packers were to upset the Seahawks, and I don't know, maybe you had Rodgers and Brady, and that'd be pretty cool too. But I wouldn't count on it at the end of the day, though. That's pretty much that, I guess. Then for the show today from TW Sports Talk, or our predictions and discussion on what's unfolded in the NFL playoffs right now. We'll see what happens with the AFC and NFC championship games this week, and then we'll have our 2 competitors for the Super Bowl this year. So
probably not gonna do a show next week because next week's the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl, yeah. I mean,
we'll probably just save the Super Bowl prediction for the following week, probably.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I don't know. There's not much intrigue about
unless Peyton Manning comes out and announces his retirement, or
then maybe
something like huge happens. Maybe we'll do a show next week, but
we'll have like a Peyton Manning appreciation day show or something.
If you want to crown them, they crown their ass.
I don't know, but I guess just stay tuned for the next edition of TW Sports Talk, whenever it is, when we will preview the Super Bowl. As usual here on TW Sports Talk. So, till next time, thanks for tuning in as always, and subscribe, send your comments in. Your thoughts are always welcome. Stay tuned for next week.